First, how is the US administration presenting this exchange?
Well, first, it's the symbolic victory of bringing back a U.S. citizen home, and that's really what they're focusing on. You had the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, saying that the U.S. would not stop until it brings back all the hostages, all the U.S. hostages currently detained abroad. But it was also presented as a very positive swap for the United States. The Trump administration insisting that this was a low price to pay. The Iranian scientist was a low price to pay for bringing back an American home, because that Iranian scientist was set to be released very soon, probably early next year, maybe January or February, as part of a plea deal. And so because this person was going to be released very soon, they felt like it was a victory for the U.S. to bring back someone for such a low price. And that's really what they're focusing on, bringing back an American, and doing so without wasting too much power towards the Iranians.
And what can we make of the timing of this swap, Ketivan?
Well, it is, as you said, coming at a time of very heightened tensions between the two countries, but also for both countries respectively, domestically. Now, of course, we've talked multiple times on France 24 about those tensions between Iran and the U.S. Reiterating and reinforcing its sanctions towards Iran. Recently, we heard this plan of the Trump administration to send more troops to the Middle East, specifically in response to what they call the reinforced threat of Iran in the region. So it's really not a great time between the two countries. But also Iran, we've seen those protests and that brutal crackdown from the Iranian regime on those protests. So Iran was looking for a softer image, a victory to bring back domestically. And the same thing can be said for Donald Trump and the Trump administration. Donald Trump is of course facing impeachment very soon, and he has been trying to show that he is still going about his presidential business, especially on the international stage, and this is one of those victories that he can tout in front of the U.S. public, to say that despite what the Democrats are doing, he is continuing his work. But as you mentioned, it is not a sign of a détente between the two countries to come. Both sides really insisting that this was a sort of one-time cooperation and that it had nothing to do with negotiations regarding the Iran deal or any lifting of sanctions.
Ketivan Gojestani reporting there from Washington. Thank you very much for that.